Welcome to Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. This is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. This is our Cultural Variety Podcast show. How y'all doing today? No doubt. It is May 8th, 2023. This is our Cultural Studies Night. And I felt like I haven't been with y'all in a while. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I've been with you on my grown folk social hour, which we do Friday and Saturdays. And you get a different side of me, But as far as the cultural side, the intellectual side, uh, the side that my viewers that view us on these Sunday, Monday nights, I feel like I haven't been around, man. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back with y'all. Uh, how's y'all day going? How did your day go today? Was the sun shining wherever you are throughout the United States, in every hood? It was shining here, man. It looked good here in the Twin Cities. But if this is your first time tuning into our show, Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast show. We are a cultural variety podcast that appears 3 days a week. And we have alternate Sunday, Monday nights at the beginning of the week, which we call Cultural Studies Night. And what we like to do on Cultural Studies Night is we like to go ahead and we like to just pay respect and homage to our doctors, our lawyers, our scholars, our people. So we like to go ahead and also pay homage to our poets. And so we like to maybe read a short story, maybe go back in our story, but we like to give you flavor on Sunday and Monday for the cultural studies. Now, cultural being us, being cultural people, the original people, we have no beginning and no ending. So our show, we're gonna talk about a variety of things during cultural studies. You know what I'm saying? So please enjoy. And then on Wednesdays is our sports night. So if you're not really feeling the Sunday or Monday, or maybe you are, but if you're not feeling that, then you can go to Wednesday nights where you can catch us doing sports. That's right. That's our Wednesday night sports night here at the Cultural Variety Show, Coffee Talk Podcast. That is our sports night, but we don't really care about who won or who lost the game. What we like to do is give you the different intricacies that goes on behind the scenes in the world of sports. And then on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, that's called Grown Folks Social Hour. I like to have a guest. I like to pay homage to my friends. I like to play 10-question Q&A, trivia, all kind of things. So you just got to tune in on Friday and Saturdays. If you're at home and you're relaxing and you're chilling and you're looking for some cultural flavor provided by the new media, it's us podcasters out here. And this is the Coffee Talk Podcast show. So that's just a little bit of my story. How long have you been watching the show? Go ahead and leave a comment. Make sure when you leave your comment, hit the like button. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're here because we do appreciate you. And definitely share, man. Call your friends up, let them know. Coffee Talk Podcast is a new show. We're only 2 years old. And we're around and we're giving you the flavor. We like to give you a positive narrative here. We don't like to take no negative narratives that's out there in the old media. You know what I mean? That's phasing out. We don't care about nothing negative. We like to pay homage to our people all over the world. So that's Coffee Talk Podcast. And I want to say this. We never start the show without giving you the flavor as well as the wise words. So let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Hey, who played that? Well, we gotta have an intro, right? Yeah, come on now. Play it again, G. Yeah, you got me feeling like Bob Hope. Y'all youngsters might not know who that is, man. Look up Bob Hope. The Bob Hope Show. Am I aging myself a little bit? That things will come on late after the club. You know what I mean? All right, so check it. Today's flavor, today's flavor is almond milk. Why almond milk? Because almond milk improves um it improves your health. It improves your skin. It also is low on carbs. Um, it decreases the the blood sugar level, so it that makes sure that you don't have high blood pressure. So it definitely helps with that. Again, it promotes healthy skin. I'm sorry, it's lactose free, and it also is rich in magnesium and a good source of vitamin E and D. So again, today's flavor is almond milk. Why almond milk? Because I just like something smooth. If I'm gonna have me a latte, or sometimes I cheat and I have a coffee. I try not to have two a day, but I really enjoy lattes, and I like to have almond milk. So, do you mess with almond milk? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know. What do you like to mix your almond milk with? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know. We definitely love to hear from you. Also, moving right along, uh, this pioneer here has been an inspiration to all people of the culture, um, especially our little black girls and all little girls, but most importantly, our black girls. Um, this person is a well-renowned artist, and uh, she goes by the name of Nina Simone. So tonight's wise words is from someone no other than Miss Nina Simone. And Nina Simone says this: life is short, and people are not easy to know. They're not easy to know. So if you don't tell them how you feel, you're not going to get anywhere. I'll say that again. Life is short. People are not easy to know. They're not easy to know. So if you don't tell them how you feel, you're not going to get anywhere, I feel. Miss Nina Simone. So what do you think about that? When I read that wise word for tonight, excuse me, the thing that came to my mind was you have to stop expecting people to be mind readers. You have to stop expecting people to just know how you feel. The greatest communication in the world is when you can say how you feel, but it also has to be reciprocal. You have to care about how others feel as well. Today, society teaches you just to worry about you, and that comes off stern. It even gets you isolated because people don't want to deal with you. So, when you think about communication, always know that it's great to be a great speaker, but you also have to be a great listener and be willing to take that extra second to comprehend what is being said so that it brings forth understanding between you and the person you're having the conversation with. Express how you feel, people. When you hold things in, it causes depression, loneliness, you know. So that's Nina Simone. And that is our wise words here at Coffee Talk Podcast. the Cultural Righty Podcast Show. And tonight, Cultural Studies Night. All right, so check it, man. We gonna go ahead and dive right into a story. It's a great story. Um, it's not too late. So if you got some daughters, man, daughters need to hear this story too. Get your daughters, and before you put them to bed, you got 15 minutes before 10 o'clock. If you keep your kids up to that late, it shouldn't be no later than 10 o'clock. But if you keep your kids up that late, let them hear the story of Queen Nzinga, and that's what we're going to be reading today. Okay, let's begin. Queen Nzinga, 1623 through 1663. Queen Nzinga was also known as Jinga, and NZINGHA. The renowned warrior queen was the sister of King Ngoli Bindoni of Ndongo in what is now known as Angola. Nzinga was born in 1582. Okay, so her rule was from 1623 to 1663. I had read that wrong at the beginning. But Nzinga was born in 1582. And at that time, the Portuguese were encroaching upon her territory. She was a member of the ethnic tribe called the Jugas. Upon her advent to the throne in 1623, Nzinga presented the Europeans with their stiffest opposition. Consequently, she led her army against the Portuguese and won battle after battle. She was a warrior. In 1622, Nzinga represented her brother at a peace conference in Luanda with the Portuguese viceroy. The Treaty of 1622 was designed partly to eliminate the war in the west central region of Ndongo. Nzinga unconditionally refused to accept the alliance as it was originally presented, and she was successful in eliminating tribute payments to the King of Portugal. She emphasized that releasing the Portuguese prisoners of war was concession enough. While Nzinga was in Luanda, it appears that she embraced Catholicism and was baptized and um, adopted some European customs. Hold on to that, y'all. We're going to talk about that at the end. Upon her return to Angola, her brother died, and in 1623, Nzinga became queen. Her first official duty was to send the ultimatum to the Portuguese, demanding execution of their treaty or war would be declared. Part of her strategy against the Portuguese included forming an alliance with the Dutch, whose aim was to break the Portuguese monopoly on the slave trade in Africa. She requested and received a regiment of Dutch soldiers. Queen Nzinga's apparent strategy was to defeat the Portuguese and to later expel the Dutch from her country. Consequently, I want to pause for a second, y'all, because I want to just highlight some of the things that's coming to my mind. I want to see if it's coming to your mind. We're going to talk about it at the end of the story. Let's continue. Nzinga maintained friendly relations with the Dutch. She also sought an alliance with Juga's chief, Kansanji, by promising to marry him. Aside from freeing her country from European control, Queen Nzinga sought to expand her kingdom from Matamba in the east to the Atlantic Ocean. In 1623, at the age of 41, she became the Queen of Ndongo. She preferred to be called King, though, and when she led her regiments into battle, she supposedly dressed as a man. Mm. Nzinga also possessed feminine charm and was particularly good at maintaining both personal and political friends. She gracefully rewarded both, and her friendships and alliances were hardly ever challenged. In 1645, her sister Fungi was taken prisoner by the Portuguese and later beheaded. Queen Nzinga also suffered a series of military setbacks that year. Consequently, she began to examine her religion and compare her people's god, Timbadumba, with the Christian God. She decided to subscribe once again to Christianity. For the most part, Nzinga used her newly acquired religion as a political tool whenever it was adventurous. However, to demonstrate her sincerity, she set out to reform her people's customs, including the abolishing of polygamy. At the end of 75, she also provided an example. I know y'all, let me pause for a minute. Y'all should have, if you're listening to this story, there should at least be five things that we have to talk about. Y'all. Let's continue. At the age of 75, she also provided an example for her constituents by marrying one of her courtiers. In 1657, when one of her chiefs spoke of attacking the Portuguese, she had him decapitated and sent his head to the Portuguese viceroy. Near the end of Queen Nzinga's reign, she sent an emissary to the Pope requesting missionaries. She died on December 17, 1663, at the age of 81, and was buried in the Capuchin habit as she requested with a crucifix and rosary in her hands. After her death, Angola fell under the Portuguese control. Queen Nzinga symbolized the epitome of resistance against European domination in Africa's inferior. Although she failed to expel the Portuguese, she is remembered as one of the most important personalities in Angolan history. This is the story of Queen Nzinga. So, as we know, let's go ahead and talk about it, y'all. There's some things that stuck out to me during this story. And I'm sure there's some things that stuck out to y'all if you was really listening. If you didn't really hear all of the story, make sure you call your friends, whatever you rewind this. You also can watch it in your living room. You don't have to hold your phone up to your ear. You can turn your YouTube on to your TV, and you can watch it and get the story that we just read. And y'all can have dialect on it because there's some things that just stuck out. One, the first thing that was coming to my mind was that she got turned out. Like she had her spirituality going, and as soon as she took over, she wanted to call herself king. She even started to dress like a guy. Now I'm not trying to knock it because it is what it is. But the realities is in the strategic thinking of war, because this is all about chess. The Portuguese didn't respect her because she didn't remain a woman. Yeah, that's what I interpreted. They turned her out by befriending her. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say, somebody that's what is that? A adversary? A adversary is somebody that's close to you. So, um, what is the other word to that? A mercenary? We got to look up a thesaurus, but your enemy, basically. They befriended her and they started to um get to Nzinga through religion. And so she started to give up her spirituality. And they know that in the game of chess. You're giving up your spirituality. So now they're not going to respect you. Because when you give up your spirituality, you no longer know who you are. So they just chilled with her. They kept taking, but she didn't notice because she was being I don't know if this is a word, but she was being religionized. Another key point to prove my point when I say that is that Nzinga, starting out as a spiritual woman, once she got caught into the religious aspect of Christianity, she wanted to abolish polygyny, which is something that is spiritual to the black man and woman. She was turned out. Nzinga was turned out. Do you believe that she was a strong leader based on the story? Or do you believe that she didn't have the leadership skill that was needed at that time? Yes, she defeated some armies, but as you know, we never know how many that was. Sometimes you can beat someone that's not as powerful as your next opponent, right? So she won a few. They turned her out. I want you to also think about the fact that she beheaded one of her friends that was standing up for their spirituality. She beheaded them. She was already turned out. She beheaded her own people, her own man. She sent an emissary to the Pope requesting for more missionaries to come into Luanda to religiously turn them out. These are some of the key things that stuck out to me as we read today's story about Queen Nzinga, who ruled from 1623 to 1663. Again, if you I know basketball's on right now, or you're finally just getting done with dinner, but when you get ready to take that bath and you want to soak in that bath tonight or whatever, listen to this story about Queen Nzinga. I believe it's a great story for our listeners tonight and our viewers. It's a great story. It opens up dialect, and that's what we like to do here on Cultural Studies Night here at Coffee Talk Podcast. Now you get it. Do you see our vision? We love to teach and we love to learn. We love to teach and we love to learn. Creates great dialogue. I want to go ahead and just say, listen to the story. Listen to the story of Queen Nzinga. So what is your thoughts on the story tonight? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what what wowed you about the story. What are some parts that stuck out? Let us know your thoughts on that. Did you enjoy the story? Go ahead and let us know. It's Coffee Talk Podcast, a cultural variety podcast show. And you know how we do it. It was a great story tonight. I shall say for the third time. Right? All right, so that concludes our story. Again, I told you it was only going to be 15 minutes. Actually, it was 25 because we gave you all, the flavor and the wise words tonight, of course, like we always do. But it was a 15-minute story. So, may you have enjoyed that story. May you have enjoyed yourself. Get ready to say good night to y'all. May y'all remain spiritually blessed. May you continue to heal yourself from anything that may have um, hurt you or you done carried on, because you got to get strong in life. You know what I'm saying? Because you need it. We value you. That's what we do. So may you have enjoyed tonight's show. I'm going to hit you with the universal peace sign. I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in to Coffee Talk Podcast, Cultural Variety Podcast Show. And wherever you are, don't forget, pour you something, man. Pour you a coffee, a cappuccino, some water, some wine, a beer. You do you. But make sure when you pour it, come on in, kick your feet up, and enjoy yourself here in our humble home, Coffee Talk Podcast. We out of here, man. Peace.